Well, I still can't believe the fact that I was actually a part of this interview. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel S Chemistry. My name is Sonal. If you guys are new here, then I make videos related to chemistry and teaching. Please do subscribe to my channel, and if you like today's video, then give this video a thumbs up. So today's video is one of those kind of videos which will always stay really close to my heart because it is such an important topic, or it is such an important experience for me, and that is the same reason why I want to share this with you guys. So as from the title, it is quite relevant that I am going to share my DRDO JRF interview experience with all my fellow viewers today. So before we actually jump right into the video, I want to share with you all two main reasons why I am actually making this video. The very first one is obviously because I said this particular experience has been really special to me, and it was actually a huge opportunity for a person like me. And the second reason, which is more important, and that is basically, even when I was preparing for my DRDO JRF interview, I couldn't find a lot of content which was specifically related to chemistry. I tried on different mediums, but I really couldn't find something that was directly related to JRF chemistry interview. And since I actually went through the entire process, I think this video will be really helpful to all the students out there, to all the aspirants out there who are actually planning to attempt an interview at the various DRDO centers as a JRF fellow in the subject of chemistry. So with that being said, let's get started. So starting with the application process, now I do not exactly remember the start date or the end date of the applications, but it was around at the beginning of 2021. So I had filled my form, and this particular JRF position was advertised for RCI, which is the Research Center Imarat. Okay, it is basically in Telangana. It's a center of DRDO, and it is known to be the avionics hub of DRDO. You guys can read more about it. It is actually a very interesting and a very nice place to work or to be a part of. So the JRF positions were introduced, advertised, I mean, in the chemistry field. And I think it was around March of 2021, around that part. Okay, so I had filled my form, and it was the regular eligibility, like your MSc marks and then your GATE score and everything. So I had just at that particular point of time, I was looking for JRF positions. I was looking for PhD positions. So I decided to go ahead and fill the form. And trust me, genuinely, I had no idea that I would anytime be selected to actually give an interview. And when I filled the form, I had no expectations, like nothing, like zero expectations that I would ever receive a call back. And the reason for this was my GATE score. I have mentioned in one of my earlier videos as well, I don't really have like an awesome GATE score. I have merely qualified the exam, and I had also mentioned that even qualifying GATE exam is a huge thing, because you are then eligible to apply for different positions across India, and you never know, like, when your luck might shine and you might get a call. So that was the reason I wasn't keeping any expectations from this particular post. First of all, obviously DRDO is such a huge thing, and secondly, my GATE score was such an average thing, so I didn't expect anything. But I came across a video, and it spoke about the JRF positions which are advertised. I thought, like, okay, let's give this a try, and I filled my form. And after that, for a few days, I would check the website to see like if they have released a list of selected candidates or what is happening and everything. But yeah, there wasn't like, I wasn't like, into it, like, okay, this has to happen for me. No, that wasn't my outlook. Okay. And after a few months, it was actually a very long process. It took quite a few months, and recently, like sometime back, I just came across another advertisement of DRDO, which made me think, okay, I had filled my form for RCI and haven't heard back from them. So I just went to the website, like randomly, I went to their website and it was blinking over there that the list of candidates selected for the JRF interview is put up. And I'm like, okay, fine, let's just see, you know, what is there. We are not we won't be in the running, definitely. So I went ahead and I opened the PDF and I came down to chemistry. Actually, there were many subjects which were advertised for the JRF position, and I scrolled down towards chemistry, and to my surprise, like really huge surprise, I saw my name there. And it just took me a minute to actually process this, to accept this, that my name was there on the list, which means that I will be a part of the DRDO interview, which is such a huge thing for me. Trust me, guys, it is huge for a person like me who comes with an average GATE score. And obviously my MSc BSc marks are good, but yeah, when you don't really expect something and then it turns out to be in your favor, you're like obviously surprised, right? Yeah, okay. So that was about it. And after that, there was a slot given, like they put up the PDF, like the candidates had to check for their name, and after that there was a slot given wherein you had to confirm that you will be available for the interview. So you had to provide them with your Aadhaar card number, and you had to confirm that you will be answering the interview. So that was done, and after I confirmed that I will be present for the interview, in a few days later I got their mail, and the mail had all the details. So if I talk about the process, it was absolutely smooth, like 10 on 10. There was no issue anywhere that you had to contact them, you had to, you had some doubts, nothing such. Okay, so they sent me a mail with the meeting details, like the meeting link and everything, and you had to go on their website and you had to check which slot is allotted to you. So as per your name, there was a time slot, the date and the time slot was provided. And when I went through that list, I saw that each candidate was given a 15 minutes slot. So I thought that, okay, 15 minutes are like too less, like for an interview. So it, like, I don't know, like they wouldn't really ask me many questions. Maybe they'll ask me like a few specific questions because it was just 15 minutes. Okay. And so I was under that impression, and I started like doing my preparations. My preparations, as in, I usually go through my MSc dissertation work only, and general inorganic chemistry. I do not touch upon organic because I know, like, I have mentioned this. My strength lies in inorganic chemistry, so I did that. And then I was actually searching on different platforms for JRF interview experience videos, and I couldn't find anything related to chemistry. And that's why this video is really important to all the aspirants who are actually planning to give an interview in chemistry for a JRF position. Finally, the day came of my interview, and actually they even called me before the interview in order to mention that your interview is scheduled on so day, I hope you're aware of it. And I told them, yes, I'm aware and everything. So all the process was very smooth. Okay, now there was only one change that happened. It wasn't anything wrong, that was also absolutely fine. And it's basically, my interview was scheduled at 5:30 in the evening. Okay, but that same day they called me in the morning, and they told me that they're having some technical issues. There was some error, so my interview, instead of being at 5:30, it was preponed to 12:15. So this was the only thing, and they made sure that I was aware of it, and I was I was fine with it. So they called me first. I missed their call. I was doing something, and then they called me again, and they said that your interview is preponed. Like I told them, I'm aware my interview is at 5:30 in the evening, but they were like, no, it's preponed to 12:15. And I said, yeah, that works for me, because it was the same day, and I was also anxious. So instead of waiting till 5:30, I would rather get it done by 12:15. So by you had to, like, 10 minutes before, you had to be ready with your camera setup and everything. So by 12:10 I was like all set in my place, like put my laptop on, and I joined the meeting and everything. And I was like in the waiting room. and exactly my interview started at 12:30. So yeah, around 20 minutes I was like waiting. I was trying to calm myself down, and my interview exactly started at 12:30. And as it was like, I thought it would go on for 15 minutes, but guys, my interview actually went on for around 35 minutes, like 35 minutes maximum it went on. So from 12:30 till 1:05. Yeah, so there were three members in the panel, and there was one expert member who questioned me later. So now the exact what happened in my interview, I'm going to come to that. So basically my interview started, and there was a different setup that I had to do in order to make myself audible to them. It took me like 2-3 minutes over there. I had to like log out and log in, and trust me guys, all the panel members were so calm, and they were guiding me like really well. You need to put this off, you need to put that on, and then only we'll be able to hear you. And at that point of time, I felt comfortable in attempting that interview. Like I wasn't anxious anymore. Okay, right at the start I felt like I am in my own space, and it's comfortable. Like the way they were guiding me just for that microphone thing, because they couldn't hear my voice, and it was genuinely very comforting. And like I wasn't anxious anymore after that. So I like greeted them good afternoon, like they said good afternoon to me and everything. That was like all good. And after that like they asked me to introduce myself. So that was the only question they asked me: introduce yourself to us in brief. And after that the whole interview was technical. So I gave my introduction like really short, and like whatever points I wanted them to know, I told them that. And then they obviously they asked me if I have done any project. So I had done one at my bachelor's level, one at my master's level. So I told them the same. And then they asked me my strength. Like they asked me, like, you have specialized in organics. So which are the type of which field you want us to question you on? So I told them coordination, bioinorganic, supramolecular and nanochemistry, since I had done my project in both of these. So I gave them like these four options, but I told them like anything other than this also in inorganic is fine with me. So the first panel member, he started asking me questions in coordination chemistry. The questions were like, I'm trying to recollect, so I can just share the questions with you all. The questions were like, why are coordination compounds called coordination compounds? Like, what is coordinate in that particular term? What do you understand by coordinate? And then the questions in coordination chemistry were like the IUPAC nomenclature of coordination complexes. Okay, what is a coordination number? Okay, what is a coordination number? And with respect to the denticity of different ligands, like there was a question with respect to EDTA, like what is the IUPAC nomenclature that comes into picture with respect to EDTA. Then they asked me about bond strengths, like which is a stronger bond, ionic bond or a covalent bond. Then they told me to arrange in terms of bond strength: hydrogen bonding, covalent bonding, ionic bonding, and which one is the strongest, which one is the weakest, and like what is the reason for the same. Then they moved on to supramolecular chemistry. So like what exactly is supramolecular chemistry? How is it different from the conventional chemistry that we have? Then in supramolecular chemistry only, like they asked me daily examples that we see, like everyday examples of supramolecular chemistry. And in terms of self-assembly, they told me to give examples of supra molecules, like supramolecular chemistry, the building blocks which are present in it. So those type of questions were also there. Then I always tell my students also that in an interview, the way you answer, on that only your coming questions are going to be based. Okay, so I gave them an example of MOFs, that is metal organic frameworks. And then they asked me like in terms of supramolecular chemistry, where does supramolecular chemistry stand today? And this question was asked by the expert member who was there. And with respect to MOFs, like what is the current requirement of the same? Okay, so that is what he asked me. And he also asked me the role of thermodynamics in supramolecular chemistry, and what are the different ways of self-assembly, or what are the different forms of self-assembly in supramolecular chemistry. So that is like you have the template driven, or you have the biological function driven, all of that. So that is also a question which he asked. He started with supramolecular chemistry, the expert member I'm talking about, and then he also asked me like questions with respect to nanochemistry. In terms of nanochemistry, like I will just give you all in general the questions that were asked, but it is understood that they were asked by all the 4 members who were present. So in nanochemistry, they asked me like, what is the nanochemistry, like the nano range, okay, what should be the size of the particle, and in which dimension should the size come, like is it 1D, 2D, or all 3 dimensions, okay. Then they asked me if I know anything about carbon nanotubes, okay. Then they asked me with respect to what are the properties which play a crucial role when a particle forms into the nano region, okay. So that is with respect to surface area. So I said surface area. Then they asked me how do you measure surface area, and what are the methods available in order to measure surface area. This was one. Then also in the synthesis of nanomaterials, they asked me about methods like top to bottom or bottom to top, different types of methods, which is like how do you define and how do you differentiate between these two. And I didn't know the answer for this particular question, so I told them that I'm sorry, I cannot recollect anything right now, but they were really friendly. And the expert member also, he was asking me questions from basic, and then he was elevating up like the difficulty level, but never at a point did I feel out of place, or did I feel nervous. I was comfortable. Even when I told them that I don't know the answer of this particular question, I was still confident about the same, and I was not anxious and I was not nervous, and that is what mattered to me the most. There was also a question with respect to the future of supramolecular chemistry, or what advancements can we make in supramolecular chemistry. And like the one which I very recently discussed in my video, the previous video that I had put up, they asked me about the Nobel Prize winners in the year 2019. That was the lithium ion batteries. There were a few questions on that as well, like the rechargeable lithium ion battery. So there also they did question me. And they also asked me the role of supramolecular chemistry in robotics, a few questions on biomimetics also, and then there were a few questions with respect to hemoglobin, like hemoglobin nomenclature, how does it happen. That's the same with respect to the density of coordination compounds. And there were a few questions on instrumentation as well. They asked me like what experience do I have. So I told them like I have had hands-on experience on IR and UV, but theoretical knowledge of the rest. So they asked me a few questions on XRD. They asked me on UV and IR, like the range of UV visible spectrometer, the nanometer range, the frequency range of any IR instrument, and in XRD, what is XRD, what is diffraction. So those were the instrumental techniques on which they actually questioned me. And with respect to adsorption measurement, they asked me like what are the units of surface area, and how do you measure surface area, that is the BET isotherm, and similar questions. Actually all of the questions were proceeding as per the way I was answering it, but all of it was majorly inorganic for me. Initially they had asked me if it's okay for me if they question me in organic chemistry. I said it's fine. Obviously you cannot just say no, because they asked me like till BSc level you had all the subjects. I said yeah, even in MSc first year like I had all the subjects, but my specialization is inorganic. So those were the different questions that they asked me, and the overall experience of the interview was fantastic. And they were even though I told them like I genuinely told them I never expected a call from DRDO, and it is a huge opportunity for me to be a part of this entire interview session, and I'm grateful for it. And they were genuinely like, even though they are at such a high position, you could see that they are actually guiding you towards the right answer. So even if you give them a wrong answer, you tell them that you are not sure, you are telling them that you don't know. They weren't judgmental, or they were instead boosting my confidence throughout the interview. And that's why I actually genuinely appreciated each and every moment of that interview. So yeah, those were the different questions that they asked me. So that's all with respect to my personal interview experience at DRDO. I don't know whether I'll be selected or not. That is completely a different aspect. But what matters to me is that I had the opportunity to be a part of this interview. Also, it matters to me that since I have made this video, many of you all will definitely be benefited from this video, because someday or the other you might have some JRF positions advertised at different DRDO centers. So I am also very grateful that I could help at least a few of students out there, a few aspirants out there. So that's it for today's video. If you guys did like my video, then give this video a thumbs up and share it with your family and friends and anybody else who would actually be interested. And if you guys are new, then please subscribe to my channel, and thank you so much for watching. Bye bye.